In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 MLB games happening on April 21st, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Philadelphia Phillies versus New York Mets. The MLB slate rolls on this Monday with a high-stakes National League East clash between the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets. This one has all the ingredients for a heated division battle, as both teams look to gain some early momentum in a tightly contested race. The Phillies have struggled to find their footing away from home so far this season. They haven't managed to secure a single series win on the road, which includes dropping a set to the St. Louis Cardinals. On the flip side, the Mets have been rock solid at Citi Field, coming away with wins in 9 out of 10 home games to start their season, a strong statement that they're tough to beat on their turf. Pitching-wise, things aren't looking too steady for Philadelphia. Aaron Nola, a seasoned veteran, hasn't looked sharp. He was rocked for 5 runs in his first start back in late March and has allowed 11 runs in just over 16 innings pitched this month. Meanwhile, Tyler Megill has been on a tear for New York. He's given up either 0 or 1 run in 3 of his 4 starts and currently holds a razor-sharp 1.4 earned run average. His success against the Phillies is no fluke either. He owns a 2.51 earned run average when facing them. To make matters worse for the Phils, they've lost all 4 games that Nola has started this season. The Mets have been dialed in lately, putting together an impressive 13-4 record over their last 17 contests. They just swept the Cardinals in dominant fashion and are riding the high of a 4-game winning streak as they head into this one. New York will again hand the ball to Tyler Megill, and there's every reason to believe he'll continue his strong run. Across 19.1 innings this season, he's rocking a 1.4 earned run average, and when it comes to facing Phillies' current hitters, he's held them in check to the tune of a .198 batting average, a .266 on base percentage, and a .279 slugging percentage over 86 at-bats. The Mets also boast a significant advantage when it comes to bullpen performance, ranking 3rd in the majors with a 2.27 earned run average, while the Phillies bullpen sits near the bottom of the pile at 29th with an ugly 5.81 earned run average. As our first pick for this matchup, the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. Aaron Nola just hasn't been someone to trust lately. His earned run average sits at an inflated 6.65, and his recent performances haven't done him any favors. In his first road start of the season, he gave up 5 runs to the Nationals, and he was even worse last time out, surrendering 6 to the Giants. That said, the Phillies have been putting runs on the board. They've scored 34 total over their last 5 games, showing they can do damage even when the pitching isn't there. Meanwhile, the Mets have allowed 4 or more runs in 4 of their last 6 outings, but it's the Phillies bullpen that continues to be the Achilles heel, still hovering at a 5.81 earned run average on the season. With all of that considered, and with the overhitting in 4 of Phillies' last 5 games, it's reasonable to expect another high-scoring affair here. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. St. Louis Cardinals versus Atlanta Braves. 2 struggling squads from the National League are set to kick off a 3-game series under the lights in Atlanta on Monday night, both in desperate need of a win. The St. Louis Cardinals make the trip to Georgia to face the Atlanta Braves, with each team hoping to shift the momentum in their favor. St. Louis is coming off a rough showing in New York, where they were swept in a 4-game series by the Mets, capping the skid with a 7-4 loss on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Braves had a much better weekend, completing a sweep of the Twins at home in an interleague showdown, finishing it off with a 6-2 win in the finale. Last season, these 2 teams faced off 6 times, and the Cardinals came out on top in that series 4-2, including taking 2 of 3 in Atlanta when they last met in late July 2024. The Cardinals had a weekend to forget in the Big Apple, getting swept in 4 straight games by the Mets and watching their road record sink to a dismal 1-9. Things don't get any easier as they head into a tough matchup where Eric Fed, who has historically been shelled by the Braves, takes the mound. He's 0-6 with an earned run average in the double digits across 40 innings when facing Atlanta. On the flip side, Atlanta's Schwellenbach has had his issues against St. Louis in the past, going winless in 2 starts, but he's pitched well so far this year and comes in with some confidence. The Braves have been reliable at home with a 6-2 record and are riding a 3-game win streak coming into this series. If this game were being played in St. Louis, you could make a case for the Cardinals keeping things competitive. But given how shaky they've looked on the road, it's hard to back them here. Schwellenbach remains one of the Braves' more dependable arms, and he's capable of keeping that going with another solid performance tonight. With how poorly the Cardinals have played away from home, it's tough to trust them in this spot. As our first pick for this matchup, the Atlanta Braves money line is our full game side pick. The Cardinals come into this contest having hit the over in 12 of their first 22 games this season, with 1 push in the mix. They're putting up 4.68 runs a game overall, good enough for 6th in the league. But that number drops off a bit to 3.9 runs per game when they're the visiting team. On the other side of things, they're giving up 4.68 runs per contest, and that jumps to 6.7 runs when they're away from Busch Stadium. Altogether, that's an average total of 9.36 runs per game, and a bump up to 10.6 runs per game on the road. Atlanta hasn't been quite as explosive offensively, going under the total in 9 of their 21 games with 3 pushes. They're near the bottom of the league in scoring, ranking 24th with an average of 3.67 runs per game, although that number climbs to 4.86 on the road. The Braves games are averaging 7.81 runs per contest, nudging up to 8 runs per game when they're the away team. Still, with Atlanta performing better at the plate at home and Fed having trouble keeping runs off the board, the over feels like the right play here. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Blue Jays versus Houston Astros. Toronto, currently holding a 12-9 record, will be looking to snag the upper hand in the series when they roll into Dakin Park on Monday night for a showdown with Houston. It's shaping up to be a big one for the Blue Jays, who have shown they can hold their own at the plate. The Blue Jays have managed to crack the top 10 in both batting average and runs scored per game, showing some real consistency at the plate. On the flip side, Houston hasn't had much luck offensively. They've dropped to dead last in the league when it comes to hitting doubles and are hovering just above the basement in overall batting average. Toronto, especially when they're on the road, seems to swing with more confidence. Houston just hasn't been able to put together much power or hit for distance, so the edge goes to the Blue Jays here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. Like we touched on earlier, Houston's power at the plate has been missing in action. They're not just struggling with doubles, they're also seeing a dip in their home run numbers. That said, their bullpen has held up surprisingly well, ranking inside the top 10 in ERA. Toronto's bullpen hasn't slouched either. They're one of the best in the league at limiting hits. When you add it all up, Toronto's lack of home run threats, both teams having solid arms in relief, and Houston's streaky offense, it points toward a low-scoring battle. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Milwaukee Brewers versus San Francisco Giants. On Monday, the Milwaukee Brewers are heading to Oracle Park to face off against the San Francisco Giants. It's the start of another showdown between these two clubs, who saw each other 6 times last season. Out of those matchups, Milwaukee came out ahead 4 times. When you zoom out to their last 10 meetings, though, the series sits even at 5 wins apiece. If you're tracking trends, 9 of those 10 games saw the under hit or push, with the record landing at 5 to 4 to 1. Taking a closer look at the starting pitchers, both are off to strong starts this April. Clint Priester has looked sharp with a 1-0 record, a 0.9 earned run average, and has held opposing batters to a .200 average over 10 innings spread across 2 starts. On the other side, Robbie Ray is sitting at 2-0, sporting a 3.86 earned run average and a 1.86 WHIP in 14 innings over 3 starts. But what really stands out is the difference in bullpen performance between these teams. Milwaukee's relievers have had a rough go of it, ranked 27th in the league with a 5.33 earned run average. San Francisco, meanwhile, has been locking things down out of the pen, boasting the second best reliever earned run average in baseball at 1.78. As our first pick for this matchup, the Milwaukee Brewers money line is our full game side pick. The Brewers are coming into this one hot after lighting up the scoreboard for 14 runs on Sunday. They'll be trying to keep that offensive rhythm going against Ray, whose advanced metrics are less than encouraging. His expected earned run average is 5.09, and he ranks near the bottom of the league in both barrel percentage and walk rate. Then there's Priester, who's already been with 3 different teams despite being just 24 years old and a former first-round draft pick. That kind of movement raises eyebrows. Against a Giants lineup with a .718 OPS versus right-handed pitching, it's fair to wonder if Priester will be able to hold up. San Francisco is likely feeling the sting of Sunday's blown 4-1 lead in the 9th and should be motivated to bounce back strong. Milwaukee's bullpen doesn't inspire much confidence either, ranked 26th in earned run average at 5.14 this season. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.